Hello again, fellow BeachBum traders. Thank you for joining us for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for the trading week of October 14th through October 18th. We're in part 2 of our weekly trading game plan. We'll be selecting our top swing trading stocks to watch, stocks in our bullpen, stocks in our shopping list. We'll also talk about how we can use dividend payers and several option strategies to also generate income while we wait for our swing trading stocks to set up. So let's get started. So here's our Google document with our notes for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for October 14th through October 18th. We keep our notes for our weekly trading game plans in publicly accessible Google documents. Our notes documents contain links to bonus videos, to the tools and resources we use to trade our top swing trading stocks to watch. If you have not already seen part 1 of our weekly trading game plan for this trading week, titled Make Money Trading Through a Storm, we would highly recommend you also view part 1, as that contains our market analysis, trade strategies, and trade ideas for this trading week. And again, you can find a link to this notes Google document in the description box below. We keep all of our Google documents with our weekly trading game plan notes in a publicly accessible Google Drive folder. So you can refer back to the notes for part 1 as well as previous weekly trading game plan notes. And you can also find a direct link to that Google Drive folder in the description box below. Welcome, Gerald Fitz, Fairchild. Thank you for joining MD. Thank you all, Ricky Khan. Thank you all for joining us in the chat today. Hope you all are doing well. So I don't really have any trade updates for this week. So just a quick reminder, although I never recommend that anyone blindly follow us into or out of trades, if it would help you make money trading, help you succeed in your trading career, to be notified when we enter or exit a trade. You can get notifications when we enter or exit a trade by joining our Patreon. Also, we have several channels in our Discord with additional alerts in our Discord available to our Patreons that I'll briefly show you. So hopefully those will also help you find good trades for your trading style. So you can see, firstly, I have a Thinkorswim TOS alerts channel. I have price alerts also set up in Thinkorswim. When those get triggered, they get automatically posted into the Thinkorswim alert channel in our Discord, so we can see when Shutterstock has been breaking its 52-week lows. So then we can take a look at those. If I follow a TOS price alert up with a trade, then I will reply in the Thinkorswim channel. If it's a trade not directly related to a Thinkorswim price alert, then I'll post that in the Trade Alerts channel, so you can see when we went long on SiriusXM Holdings, SIRI, on October 3rd, post that in the Trade Alerts channel. I also have a channel of real-time alerts generated by our automated systems when stocks are moving up, breaking out near a support level, near our price targets. Also good ways to see sector rotations, reversals in the market, changes in sentiment. You can also hear how you can use our real-time alerts channel to get alerted when stocks are moving up, breaking out, etc. We have the link to the video in our notes. So again, our real-time alerts channel, you can see again when stocks are moving up. Here's Brazil moving up, got DRIP moving up. So DRIP is the short on oil, so it says oil's going down. Got Boyle moving up, so natural gas moving up. So again, a great way to see movements in the stock market, sector rotations, great for day traders, scalpers, short-term traders. So again, you can get access to all those types of alerts by joining our Patreon. Welcome, Keitan, Tekutsu. Okay, so that's the trader also known as Easy Mike. Hope you had a great trading week and are doing well. So next, I will quickly go through our watch list updates for our top swing trading stocks to watch for this week. And then we'll look at the charts also in Webull. So the only stock I have remaining on our top swing trading stocks to watch list right now is PERI on Networks. We've been watching PERI for some period of time. You can hear our thesis for why we're watching PERI via the link to the bonus video in the notes. If I do find additional stocks, we'll look at them in our watch list Google sheet as well. So again, you can see how you can watch our top swing trading stocks to watch via the link to the series of videos in the notes. So you can watch our top swing trading stocks to watch, as well as our bullpen stocks, shopping list stocks, all in our watch list Google sheet. And you can get access to that watch list Google sheet as well by joining our Patreon. Again, we have price targets. So again, support resistance levels, earnings information, link to the profile, dividend information, optionality information. And then again, when the Google Finance functions are responsive, then it will have near real-time pricing information in our Google sheet. I quickly look at the chart for PERI right now for this week. So we can see it's been just trending slowly down, kind of choppy. The recent low is about 747, 736 if you zoom into there. So we see it's just been kind of slowly trending down. It's a digital media company, so we'll see how some of the earnings reports are affected. You can see the earnings date is the 30th. So some of the other digital media companies, including like Google, if they report before that, that might also impact PERI. So we're just waiting to see if it finds support, if it retests that 52-week low again, and then again looking for a longer term swing. Plenty of upside in PERI. So I believe several of our other BeachBum traders are already have positions in PERI. Very quickly as well, our bullpen stocks. If you're new to our community, the concept of the bullpen stocks are ones that don't have the setup right now that meet our top swing trading stocks to watch setup, but I've identified they may in the near future. So we put them in the bullpen, revisit them periodically. If their setup improves, then we put them in the game, move them up to our top swing trading stocks to watch list. If they break out or break down, then we just take them out of the bullpen. So firstly, some quick updates to our bullpen stocks. Taking Himex Technologies out of our bullpen as it has already run up. You can hear our thesis on why we've been watching Himex Technologies. It's a Taiwan semiconductor company, and you can hear our previous due diligence videos via the links in the notes. Congratulations to any of our fellow BeachBum traders who did catch that run up in Himex. So again, it still, I believe, still appears to be running up. We can also watch Himex in our Dividend Payers Google sheet. So we traded that with a nice profit previously. We'll keep an eye out to see if it comes back down. If we get a sector rotation out of semiconductors, we'll take another look at Himex Technologies. We've been watching Shutterstock in our bullpen for some period of time. You can hear our thesis on why we've been watching Shutterstock. Again, an adjacent AI type play, as we'll see in the Webull charts. It's been kind of trailing out. So if I look at my bullpen watch list in Webull, again, we can see Shutterstock's been trailing down for some period of time. It looks like it may have found a stable bottom in the low 30 area. I zoom in there a little bit. So recent low at 30.26. Again, that support 1 level is at about 30.61. So it looks like that support level may be a bottom, a near-term bottom. We'll see if that holds. And we may take a long in Shutterstock at that point. Again, adjacent AI type play with photo image content that we think there might be an opportunity there. Again, you can also watch our Bullpen Stocks, see price targets, etc. in the Bullpen sheet of our watch list Google sheet. Again, they have earnings on the 31st, does pay a small dividend, is optionable, etc. So let me grab a quick drink and we'll talk about our shopping list stocks as well. Just a quick reminder, if you're not already using Webull, they're still offering 75 free fractional shares of stock and a bonus 2% interest on your uninvested cash for a total of 6.25 interest for the first 30 days. If you open and fund your account with 25K, you get 75 free fractional shares, the 6.25 interest. Under 25K, you get 20 free fractional shares, still get that bonus 6.25% interest. Again, I think with eventual rate cuts, these bonus interest rates will go down. So now would be the time, if you're not already using Webull, if you open and fund your account, you can get that bonus interest, all your fractional shares of stock, and any other promotions they have. And if you'd use our affiliate link in the description box below, get all those bonuses as well as help support our BeachBum trading community, which we greatly appreciate. And also just a follow-up reminder, I've been having difficulty finding good setups for both our top swing trading stocks to watch list and our bullpen. Most stocks are either the profitable ones are very highly valued, very expensive, and the otherwise they're unprofitable, and even some of the unprofitable ones are very expensive right now, markets at all-time highs, etc. But I do go review our queries, etc. every day. We regenerate our watch list Google sheet with any additions that we find at the end of each day. And if I do find any after that Google sheet's been regenerated, then we post it in the watch list updates channel available to our Patreon members in our Discord. So again, any ones that I find after the Google sheet's been generated, I'll post in the stock watch list updates channel in our Discord, and Patreon members get notified of that. So I'm still looking, but again, everything is either expensive or unprofitable. And again, even the unprofitable ones seem to be pretty expensive. So we do have our shopping list, and we recommend you have your list of shopping list stocks for any irrational reactions to earnings, stocks that you always wanted to buy. Again, take advantage of irrational reactions to earnings or corrections in the market, etc. Again, just a quick reminder, we recommend that you stay away from zombie stocks, zombie companies, zombie ETFs. If you need to know what those refer to, you can get more information via the links to those videos in our notes. Again, the probability of rate cuts has decreased with the still high inflation data we've seen, and the stable employment job market. So again, these money-losing companies are still at risk until rates come down significantly, which isn't going to happen anytime soon. You can also use our biotech due diligence Google sheet to calculate the quarter's cash flow positive, not just for a biotech stock, but for any money-losing stock, to see what their risk is of insolvency or of having to do an offering anytime soon. And you can get access to that biotech due diligence Google sheet by joining our Patreon. So very quickly, we have our shopping list of stocks. I've been slowly trying to clean this up a little bit. But if you want to see what stocks we currently have in our shopping list, you can see that in the shop list tab of our watch list Google sheet. So we have some of the Mag 7s like Amazon, Meta, etc., Netflix. Got some of the yield maxes, APLY, TSLY. Got some REITs, land, LTC, O, Stag, etc. MP we watch for rare earths, MSB for steel. I put Intel in there into our shopping list recently, Disney, etc. So if you have any recommendations, uranium, ETF, USOI for oil ETF, etc. So again, you can see what we have in our shopping list, JEPI, JEPQ for dividend payers. If you have any recommendations, please let me know. Welcome, Gabe Fade from London. Hopefully you had a great trading week and are doing well. How's the weather in London? Is it getting cold already? Okay, next we'll talk about dividend payers. So if anybody else in the chat has a particular dividend payer you want to take a look at, please put those tickers up in the chat. I'll try to check those in a second. Grab a quick drink and we'll look at an addition that was requested by MD. Okay, just a reminder, we use our dividend payers Google sheet to identify and build a schedule of dividend payers with whatever yield, schedule of dividend payment, risk reward profile, etc. that we would like to generate income using dividend payers while we wait for our swing trading stocks to set up. And you can do likewise, build your schedule of dividend payers using our dividend payers Google sheet, and you can get 24/7 access to our dividend payers Google sheet and other Google sheets by joining our Patreon. MD recently asked us to add Coney. Coney is the yield max on coin. So we'll take a look at that. Again, we tend to put our dividend payers or the yield max into our dividend payers Google sheet. So I've added that in the add sheet with the other yield maxes. So I've got the yield maxes grouped at the top of the add sheet of our dividend payers. So we can see here CONY, and this is the yield max on Coinbase on coin. So you can see it recently paid $1. So it's got a nominal yield. Looks like 161%. We'll take a look at it in FinBiz in a second as well. It's got pretty good price appreciation. You see the risk reward profile also in the ad sheet. As we'll see, it's relatively new, so it doesn't have a long history. So all the risk reward profiles for 52-week, etc. are the same. See, it's performed pretty poorly this year, down negative 33%, but still got plenty of a net yield, almost 130%, adjusted yield over 130%, so very high yield. So if we look at the profile of CONY in FinBiz, we see, been downtrending for a long time, since about April. Be related to the underlying, which is the price of Coinbase. See, it pays in September, paid 104, $1, so $1 a month, $1.50, $1.60. Again, it's relatively new. It's only been out since September 23, so we, have just over a year of some history. It's been as high as in the low 30s. So again, 155% nominal yield. Expense ratio is kind of high, 1%. It is optionable. Again, performance has been pretty negative this year. See, it's got treasuries and then Coinbase puts, calls and puts on Coinbase. Again, typical, it's a covered call strategy like the other yield maxes. Let's look at the underlying, which is coin, and see how the chart of coin compares with coin Y, Coney. So again, coin's been pretty stable. Looks like it's had a support level. Good downwardly trending channel. Looks like it's wedging at this point. Looks like Coinbase missed on earnings last time, beat on revenue a little bit. They do make money. So again, even though coin's been relatively stable, we saw that steep decline in Coney due to its paying out of dividends, typical of these yield maxes. Again, coin is still relatively high. It's got significant upside. That 130 does look like a pivot point, a support area. And it looks like Coney bottomed after the ex-dividend date and then has bounced up a little bit. Looks like after ex-dividend, it has a tendency to rise a little bit and then roll over. So possibly there might be an opportunity right after the ex-dividend dates. I believe several of our BeachBum traders use that kind of strategy with some of the yield maxes, is buy right after the ex-dividend date. If you get that price appreciation, you can either hold it till the next ex-dividend date or just take the price appreciation and forego the dividend. So, and you can see all that and track the performance of Coney now in the ad sheet of our dividend payers. So hope that all helps, MD. Hope that's what you were looking for. Again, we could see the other yield maxes at the top of our ad sheet. I've been watching Tesla, TSLY. It recently made a new 52-week low, but Tesla itself isn't at its 52-week low. So again, with all these yield maxes, I want to watch the underlying for a support level. So if Tesla continues to drop, TSLY might become more attractive. So we're watching TSLY, APLY, typically watch any of the others that are coming down in the yield max category in our ad sheet. Again, you can see the dividend distribution schedule for the yield maxes in the reference tab of our dividend payers Google sheet. Now they group them and they pay out on a staggered weekly basis. So it's good to see, okay, so TSLY is in group A. So group A paid out on the 2nd, so probably early November again. So again, you can see what group the stocks are in, when their dividend payment, ex-dividend dates are, using the distribution schedule link in our reference sheet of our dividend payers Google sheet. Okay, let me check the chat quickly, see if anyone else has. Okay, Katon, Easy Mike was asking about GDXY. We have GDXY in the ad sheet of our dividend payers Google sheet. GDXY is the yield max on gold miners. So you can see again the risk reward profile of GDXY is pretty low. Again, even though gold is pretty high. So again, due to the payment of their dividends, got a 60-cent monthly dividend. We can see if that's changed or been updated anytime recently. So again, relatively new yield max ETF. Last dividend was 60 cents on October 10th, 60 cents in September. See, it's trended down, even though gold again is hitting new all-time highs. 14% yield, performed negative 11%. It's on GDX calls and puts. So the GDX index. So again, another one that runs up and then rolls over. So again, maybe another run on gold. Looks like it might be turning back up. So if you're looking for a monthly dividend payer on gold, you can use this GDXY. Again, this is on gold miners on the GDX index, not necessarily the spot gold price. So it could be affected by other factors that impact the gold miners, like interest rates, etc. So I hope that helps. Again, let me grab a drink, check the chat, see if anyone else has another dividend payer you want to look at. Okay, otherwise, not a whole lot of other dividend payers I've found. The REITs are still running a little bit up. I like, again, Land, O, Stag, LTC, etc. There's IEF, IEI, some bond funds, again, still relatively high. JEPI and JEPQ, again, indices are pretty much close to all-time highs, but you can see the risk reward on those. Here's the dividend payer on China. So if you're looking for a monthly dividend payer on China, you can take a look at CLIP. I've got a few of the yield maxes in the main page, NVDY, Popular, OARC on ARC, etc. Bonjour, smoked tuna, comment allez-vous? So I'll leave this open if anyone else has. So we have TLT, bond funds. So again, you can find a wide variety of dividend payers in our dividend payer Google Sheet. Construct your own schedule based on their frequency of dividend payment, the yield, whether it be net yield or nominal yield or net yield, given their performance. Also take into account price appreciation with adjusted yield, etc. So I'll leave this open if anyone else has another dividend pair you want to look at. Just a quick reminder, we have a whole series of videos on how you can use our dividend payers Google Sheet to build your schedule of dividend payers, titled How to Find the Best Dividend Paying Stocks. You can access that series via the link in our notes. You can also find them on our channel. So in addition, I'll look at Disney puts in just a second, Alan. We're just going to start talking about option strategies. So in addition to dividend payers, we also use several option strategies to generate income while we wait for our swing trading stock to set up. First strategy is we sell covered calls against our positions when they're going up, buy them back when they're going back down, and we can use our covered calls ET or covered calls Google Sheet to do what if analysis on various covered call strategies And you can also use this covered calls Google Sheet to do what-if analysis on your covered call strategies by joining our Patreon. And you can get more information about how to use our covered calls Google Sheet via the bonus link to the video in our notes. We also sell puts when stocks are going down, buy them back when they're going back up. And we use our puts ROIC Google Sheet to identify opportunities for selling and buying back puts. And again, you can also use our puts ROIC Google Sheet for your making money trading options. And you get 24/7 access to that puts ROIC Google Sheet also by joining our Patreon. So we'll look at Disney. Alan mentioned Disney. Anyone else that has some other puts you want to take a look at in the chat, let me know. I'll very quickly go over some updates, and we'll take a look at some of the updates. So firstly, I rolled the October 18th all to November. Again, we use a 40-day window. So I've got a column that tells me but 40 days out, trying to capture the most stated decay in those options. So when that 40 days passes the expiration date we have, then I'll roll them forward. So we rolled all the Octobers now to November. Also added Boeing at 120 for a January 25th expiration. So I want to quickly look at that Boeing put. And Boeing's been having all kinds of trouble. So here's the Boeing at 120. I wanted to see what the ROIC on those 120 puts was going to be. It's only 1.4% right now at the 52-week high of 493. It'd still be less than 3%, so not really attractive at this time. Although again, if Boeing continues to decline, so again, we can see Boeing trending down, making new 52-week lows. Again, they have all kinds of problems, losing tons of money. They've got their strike. I don't believe they've resolved their strike yet. So that ongoing strike, they announced a major layoff in part due to their strike. So again, here's that 120 level. So that's why I picked that 120 strike. They come down to that long-term low. So that 120 level looks like a pretty good support level. So not a lot of risk below that. Again, we see the downtrend broke down below its 200-month moving average. So again, Boeing definitely downtrending, got plenty of problems. We'll see if that the premium on those Boeing puts perks up, and we get an ROIC above 4.5%, 5%. So again, with cuts in interest rates now, anywhere between 4.5 and 5% ROIC becomes attractive. So what do you all think of the selling puts on Boeing? Please let me know in the comments, in our Discord, etc. Second update is Moderna. I lowered the strike price on Moderna from 60 to 50. Still got a November expiration. You can hear our previous discussion on selling puts on Moderna and why we're interested potentially or not interested in selling puts on Moderna too quickly via the short video, via the bonus link in the notes. And just a quick reminder, we've got a whole series of videos on how you can use our puts ROIC Google Sheet titled Option Strategies for Beginners with Examples. And we have a whole playlist of videos on how you can make money trading options in the options playlist on our YouTube channel. So if I go back to the main watch list, we look at Disney. Alan mentioned Disney. You see Disney's bounced up off that 90 level up to 94 again. I have the 80 strike price puts on Disney at both the November and the January 25 expiration. See right now, the premiums aren't terribly attractive. We go out to the 52-week high on the January puts. We get up to a 9%. So if those premiums, if Disney does decline and that premium picks up to, closer to that 52-week high, then puts on Disney, become more attractive. You want to take a little bit more risk and look at a higher strike price, you can do that. Again, we see red says Disney's going up. We can quickly see stocks that are moving down. So Netflix has been moving down quite a bit, ServiceNow. But again, those puts haven't become attractive. I am keeping an eye on the Teslas. Tesla puts at 140, but they're still pretty low ROIC. Tesla keeps trending down. We'll have several options to play Tesla. We can sell puts, we can buy TSLY, etc. Good morning, Sydney Osborne. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well. So again, not a whole lot else on the main sheet. Intel, I still have a sellout on the Intel 20 strike price. January expirations. See right now the ROIC on that at 108 is about 4%. I put that at 315, so I've got my sellout at 315. So you see that's a 13% ROI. Might move that down a little bit if Intel does start to dip down and that ROIC picks up. I might move that sell down. I do get notifications from my automated systems when I might want to move a sell price down on an order I have out. So hope that all helps. Otherwise, on the research tab, again, we have a whole variety of stocks that we've identified potentially selling puts on before. You see fair values, etc., the ROICs. Etsy showed about 2%. It's been downtrending for quite some time. Talked about Moderna. Again, right now that 50 strike price showing about almost a 4%. And it's at its 52-week high. So again, I moved that strike price down. If the premium continues to go up, selling puts on Moderna might be more attractive at that 50 strike price. So again, let me know what you all think about selling puts on Moderna at 50. Shutterstock, if you are interested in selling puts, not necessarily buying the shares, but you want to sell the puts at 30. Right now, it's got a 2.2% at the 52-week high of 205, be 3.3. So again, right now the ROIC on those $30 strike puts isn't all that attractive. So again, if anyone else has any other stocks that you'd like us to gather the put information on, you let us know the symbol, the strike prices, the expiration dates. We can plug those into our automated systems. They'll update our puts ROIC Google Sheet at the end of each day, and then you can see what the ROIC is. Again, you can also use this Google Sheet to track stocks moving up, moving down. That might be an opportunity for shorter term scalping of puts. So again, shorter term options traders can also use our puts ROIC Google Sheet to make money trading puts. So we hope that helps. Okay, let me grab a quick drink, and then I want to address a question brought up by Tappy6805, which is Gerald Fitz. And we'll do kind of a deeper dive into CRBP. Okay, Gerald, who is Tappy6805 in our Discord, posted yesterday about CRBP, so we can look at what he posted, and then we'll do some quick due diligence on CRBP. So he said he brought up CRBP, floats 11 million, 12 million outstanding, prices dropped like a hot potato, and then he included several articles on capital advisors, a couple asset management companies, Cormorant Asset Management and Octagon Capital Advisors, who have significantly increased their holdings in CRBP recently. So, and he says, assuming funds don't load up to lose money, but sure they would somehow get the price to go down so they could load up shares. And what do we think? So again, I wanted to do some due diligence on CRBP. Let's see how that looks. So Corbus Pharmaceutical Holdings, healthcare biotech stock. See, it had this precipitous drop in mid-September, so we'll see what the news was that caused that potential drop. See, it's got significant potential upside. So again, the question is, what caused that drop? And money losing, as typical for a biotech. They have no revenue. Again, losing money, no revenue. See, as he noted, only 12 million shares outstanding, 11 million float. Again, they lose a lot of money, typical of a biotech. 226 million market cap. This is optionable. Has a pretty high short float, so potential short squeeze as a potential catalyst. Very significant range. So it's been up to 61.90, down at 18 right now. We zoom out a little bit. So again, we see the precipitous drop down from 60 to 18. See, it popped up in February, so we'll see the news cause that positive pop. See, in the past, it's been much higher, as high as 300. Although, as we'll see, it's been diluted since then. If we look at some of the positive and negative news, see again when the Corbus Asset Management acquired, we got a plus 16%. Here's Octagon Capital. So they recently had both of these asset management companies, increase their shares significantly. We go down to February and look at that drop. So here's the big drop. January 29. So they released data for a tumor candidate and dropped precipitously. So obviously that data they failed a trial, and that's the risk with biotech. If they succeed in a trial, you can get huge gains. If they fail, get cut in half, etc. So Corbus is an oncology company, cancer and obesity, antibody drugs, etc. Also, I have these in our had CRBP in our database for a long time, and I also have it tagged as a cannabis stock. So you can see there's another angle, another theme they might benefit from is possible uptick in cannabis. Again, cancer research. So if they get a positive data on cancer, that's very positive. Again, money losing company, etc. So right now their cash per share is 12. So I did take the time to do a quarter's cash flow positive assessment of CRBP using our biotech due diligence Google sheet. So we'll take a look at that. So again, if you're concerned, about the solvency or offerings, future offerings for any money-losing company, not just a biotech, you can use our biotech due diligence Google sheet to calculate the quarter's cash flow positive for any money-losing company. And again, there's a key that tells you where to get the data to plug into the various columns. So again, you can get access to this by joining our Patreon, make a copy, do your own due diligence on biotechs or any other money-losing company. So we'll see, as you see, I plugged in their cash on hand, their free cash flow. We get a calculation of quarters cash flow positive of 16, so that's very positive. So they don't seem to be at risk of running out of money, having to do an offering anytime soon. One of the other reasons they dropped in the past was after some of their positive earnings. So we see a huge pop. They did do an offering. So if you go back in time for a while, you'll see they did several offerings. So again, it's been diluted. And again, that's the risk with a biotech company. Also wanted to quickly look at the mid-chart mill. Pretty negative valuations. They're all negative, all zeros pretty much. I look at their fundamentals, zero, so very negative. Not profitable, which they're just a biotech. They don't generate revenue. Altman Z is very negative. So this says they have a risk of bankruptcy. So that's negative, but our quarter's cash flow positive calculation says they've got 16 quarters of money. So look at the current setup. 2 out of 10, so again, pretty negative. Has a poor technical rating, 4 out of 10. So again, not possibly a good technical setup either. So it's saying not a great time to buy CRBP. So let's see what potentially those asset management companies might be seeing in CRBP that we're not seeing. So let's look at their pipeline. Again, you can access the home pages for a company via the link in their profile in FinBiz. So we look at their pipeline. So they've got several drugs. Most are in preclinical. They've got a couple. One's just started phase 1. One's in phase 1. Looks like it's near ending, expanding a cohort. So they may be near reporting data on that phase 1. That's in China. Got one in, just started phase 1. We've got one, looks like they're going to start phase 1 in Q4. And we've got another one that looks like a first patient in Q1. So we've got several potential catalysts. So maybe that's what those asset management companies are banking on, is those near-term catalysts. So again, based on our quarter's cash flow positive calculations, if you wanted to take a shot, it's kind of, with biotechs, they're kind of lotto tickets. Again, if they report positive results, get a big pop. If they have poor results, get cut in half or worse. Also, another thing, as we pointed out, their short float's very high, so might get a short squeeze, particularly on positive news. Might get a short squeeze on that. Good pop. Again, just another thing to risk to be aware of is the last time they had a big pop, they did an offering. So take your profits, protect your profits on any news. Big pop, they might get a little bit of a pop when they dose their first patients in those trials, but that's not significant. It's not data, but sometimes those news press releases do give you a little bit of a pop. So if anyone else has any experience with CRBP and trading it in the past or with the company itself, please let us know what you think of this Corvus Pharmaceuticals. Post it in our Discord. Again, our Discord's free to join. You can find an invite in the description box below. And thank you, Gerald. This is exactly what we need is, if you have a question or you want us to take a look at a stock, please post it in our Discord in advance, and then we can take the time and do some due diligence on those stocks in advance of discussing them, which I greatly appreciate. Welcome, Canavir. Thank you for joining us. Glad to see you again. Hope you've been doing well. George K. I guess that's Walter Lyons also. Glad to see you as well. So also someone was mentioning puts on Carvana. Let me see if I have Carvana in our sheet. Probably not. So let's look at Carvana. So pretty high right now. Last earnings, they reported a profit. I'm sure that's what explains the run up. I know they reduced some of their debt, still have huge debt. Short floats dropped down about 13%. It used to be a very high short float. They're still losing. Well, they made money in the last quarter, but the PE is pretty high. So their next earnings, let's see, July 31st, so 7, so 10/31 about. So possibly, if you want to, you think they're going to miss on earnings, report a loss. Like they made money the past couple quarters, so that's kind of a gamble as well. They have been making money, and they still do have huge debt. Again, consumers under more pressure now. Probably not buying as many vehicles, so even used vehicles. So what do you all think about selling puts on Carvana? Again, it's pretty high, was a bit of a meme stock when it IPO'd, etc. It's run way up. So, maybe on that earnings, if you want to take that risk, etc. So again, what do you all think of selling puts on Carvana? Again, not something I'd be pursuing right now, but that 100 level looks like a support level. Previous dip, 120, 125. So you can check the premiums on those, see if that's attractive. Okay, let me check the chat, see if anybody else has. Yeah, Carvana PE 60. Gerald's pointing out. So pretty high, pretty expensive, still pretty high debt. So they're going to be hampered by, interest rates as well. Don't have a lot of discrepancy between the outstanding and float. But again, they may, sell shares to try to reduce their debt load. So watch out for that, particularly with it as high as it is. Okay. So thank you all for joining us today. We hope that you like this content. Please smash the like button. Help us try to get the YouTube algorithm to someday show us some love and share our content with other traders. We also would love your feedback, what we can do to improve our weekly trading game plans, any of our tools and resources, our Google Sheets, our community, etc. We'd love to have you join us in our Discord. Again, if you have any questions, comments, suggestions for improvement going forward, we'd love to hear about that in our Discord. Our Discord's free to join, with the exception of the few channels that I mentioned that are exclusive to our Patreon members. So again, let us know any other questions, recommendations for improvement, etc. in the comments to any of our videos or in our Discord. You can also contact us via our social media sites. You can find links to our social media sites in the link section on our homepage, beachbumtrading.com, without the U. So thank you again to everyone that joined us in the chat and everyone that's watching after the fact. And we hope we'll see you again back next week for our weekly trading game plan for the next week. And otherwise, good luck and have a great trading week.